ఇంకో దే దీప్య. She went off. మ్యామ్ కంప్లైంట్ చేసింది, మ్యామ్ మాట వినలేదని ఫీల్ అయింది మ్యామ్ అని చెప్పారు. ఓకే, any other thing you want to share? Any other important news which you want to share? So, anything which you want to share? Important news today? ఏం లేవా చెప్పడానికి? నాకు చెప్పడానికి ఏం లేవా న్యూస్? Anything? Nothing? So shall I start today's after my session. Ramesh sir. So today's session is divided into 3 important programs. One is I'll be discussing current affairs. After that, Harish sir and Ramesh sir will be discussing about answer writing. So I'll be discussing about current affairs, how to connect current affairs to the answers. ఈ రోజు క్లాస్ 3 పార్ట్స్గా ఉంటుంది. నేను కరెంట్ అఫైర్స్ చెప్తూ ఆన్సర్స్లో ఎలా ఇంక్లూడ్ చేయాలి, ఎందుకంటే మీరు చాలామంది రైటింగ్ ప్రాక్టీస్లో ఆన్సర్స్ ఇంక్లూజన్ కానీ ఆన్సర్స్ ఇష్యూస్ కానీ రాకుండా ఎలా చేయాలనేది నేర్పిస్తాను ఈరోజు. ఓకే, సో let's start today's important current affairs. Good afternoon to you all. Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji is going to visit UK and Maldives from July 23rd to July 26th, according to the Ministry of External Affairs. As you all know, Indian Prime Minister represents India abroad on many occasions. Recently also, he visited 5 nations. He went for 5-nation tour as a part of Brazil hosted BRICS summit, and Modi ji visited 5 nations. And next week he is going to UK and Maldives. And from last 2 years we have some troubled relationship with Maldives, as Maldives started India out campaign. Now the visit of Indian Prime Minister to Maldives is very, very important. Okay, from the last 2 years, particularly last year, Mohammad Moizu's government in Maldives have taken anti-India stand. Now even the Maldives government got mellowed down, understood the significance and importance of India. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will embark on a 2-nation tour to the United Kingdom and Maldives from July 23rd to July 26th, according to the Ministry of External Affairs sources. At the invitation of UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer, Prime Minister Modi will undertake an official visit to United Kingdom on July 23rd and July 24th. And this marks Prime Minister Modi's 4th visit to UK. And during his stay in UK, PM Modi will engage in wide range of discussions with British government, particularly Keir Starmer. So covering the full spectrum of India and UK relations. And you all know Britain also have a constitutional monarchy. Britain have a king. So Prime Minister Modi is also scheduled to visit and to have a call on to His Majesty King Charles III. Not only he'll meet Prime Minister Keir Starmer, PM Modi will also visit King Charles III. This visit will include a comprehensive review of India-UK comprehensive strategic partnership. Apart from that, you all know that after visiting UK, Modi is going to Maldives. And this is the Prime Minister Modi's 3rd visit to the Maldives. And the most importantly, the first visit after Mohammad Moizu have taken as a Maldivian president. Prime Minister Modi will be a guest of honor at the celebrations of 60th anniversary of Maldives independence. Prime Minister Modi will be the guest of honor at the celebrations of marking 60th anniversary of Maldivian independence. So here I wish to tell you 2-3 important things. One is about Maldives. Maldives is also a British ruled territory. And Maldives, almost the economy is dependent on tourism. And last year, 1.5 years back, when Mohammad Moizu have taken up into power, he started anti-India campaign and started supporting China. And then India, we also have taken a tough stand. In fact, we have promoted Lakshadweep and we asked Indian tourists to go to Lakshadweep instead of Maldives. Prime Minister Modi himself released a video of the beauty of Lakshadweep. So you can see that video also last year, which was posted by our Modi ji. Then suddenly Maldives tourism also fallen. The footfall of Indian tourists to Maldives was also minimized. And then now Maldives realize the significance and importance of India. And 2 things you should know here. You have to know here. One is India's relationship with UK. As you all know, UK have come out of European Union, and in 2016 there's a referendum where UK voted that they don't want. That is Britain. Britain voted that they don't want to be a part of European Union. Now India has to make a separate trade deal and other deals with UK also. That is the Britain also. You all know that. And in Britain at present, 𝐾𝐨𝐰𝐧𝐥𝐶 is the Prime Minister. And earlier we have Rishi Sunak. The policies of Rishi Sunak as the British Prime Minister and the policies of 𝐾𝐨𝐼𝐧𝐥𝐶 were completely different also. So the visit of Prime Minister Modi to Britain and the visit of Prime Minister Modi to Maldives, both are very significant to India. And one is the former colonial power and the other is the former colony. The first is former colonial power and the second is former colony. That's very important. And the next important news that's coming up is India becomes global leader in fast payments as UPI processes 18.39 billion transactions in June, according to International Monetary Fund. See, to make you to understand in a crispy manner, right now, even if you purchase a small thing like bread packet, you are paying through UPI rather than using cash. Particularly during COVID, we got accustomed to use online transactions, Google Pay, Phone Pay, many other different payment modes. So India becomes global leader in fast payments as unified payment interface processes 18.39 billion transactions only in June. In June in India, 18.39 billion transactions through UPI. India is a global leader in fast payments now, according to IMF. What is IMF? International Monetary Fund. Okay, India has emerged as a global leader in fast payments with unified payments interface, processing over 24.03 lakh crores. How many lakh crores of money? 24.03 lakh crores through 18.39 billion transactions in June, the International Monetary Fund said. In June last year, the transactions are 13.88 billion. Now it is 18.39 billion. Last year, at the same time, the transactions are 13.88 billion. This year, the transactions are 18.39 billion. So, this is the wonderful thing which you should know. And currently, Unified Payment Interface, UPI, powers 85% of all digital transactions and nearly 50% of all real-time digital payments in India. It's very important. So super. UPI is doing very good. So cashless transactions, digital transactions, and it also boosts digital economy. You need not carry cash. In various foreign countries, including American, European countries, people carry only cards. People carry only mobile banking. They never carry cash. So this promotes transparency in economy. This promotes openness in economy. This reduces corruption. This reduces the cost of paper currency, printing of paper currency, all these things. So the 21st century is the century of digital currency. Remember that. The 21st century is the century of digital currency. And the next important news that is coming up, as you all know, Delhi High Court Judge case where Justice Yashwant Verma, in his house, bundles of cash was stashed, and that have proven with evidence in social media also. We have seen those videos viral. The Parliamentary Affairs Minister, Mr. Kiran Rijiju, said over 100 MPs signed a motion for his removal. Over 100 MPs signed a motion for his removal. See, 2 months back, so much of cash was found, 3 months back, was found in the Delhi High Court judge's residence. And the cash was caught by the fire authorities when some fire accident happened in that place. The impeachment, I can say removal process against Justice Yashwant Verma has gained considerable momentum as Union Parliamentary Affairs Minister Kiran Rijiju confirmed that more than 100 MPs have already signed the motion. The central government will bring an impeachment motion against Justice Verma, who landed in trouble after burnt cash was discovered at his residence. After burnt cash was discovered at his residence. Okay, clear? So now, till now, no judge got removed through removal proceedings in the parliament. No judge in India got removed through this process. On 2 occasions, there were allegations on 2 judges, and before this process is completed, those judges have resigned themselves. By themselves, they have resigned. So, if at all Justice Verma is going to be removed, he will be in the history for good. That the first person in India to be removed by the parliamentary procedure as a judge. But I think before the proceedings complete, this judge will also resign to save his face. This judge will also resign to save his face. Next important news, as you all know, our defense equipment, our helicopters, our jet fighters are very important for our defense. Indian Army to get first batch of Apache helicopters on July 22nd. So Apache helicopters, they are very, very important for our stronghold. We are buying them from America. APACHE. India is set to receive the first consignment of long-awaited Apache attack helicopters from the America on July 22nd. 3 Apache helicopters, AH-64E Apache helicopters, are set to be formally inducted into the Indian Army in the next 2 days. The helicopters are expected to arrive in Jodhpur by July 21st, where they will undergo a joint receipt inspection before being officially handed over. These are the first 3 of 6 Apache helicopters being procured for Indian Army. Indian Army, particularly Aviation Corps. Indian Army Aviation Corps. A dedicated squadron has already been raised in Jodhpur for the deployment along the western border. We are buying Apache helicopters from America. Apache helicopters are the advanced multi-role attack helicopters. They are the advanced multi-role attack helicopters in the world, capable of executing high-impact strikes in hostile terrains. Capable of executing high-important strikes in hostile terrains. So, the Apache is packed with the cutting-edge technology, including modern communications, navigation system, upgraded sensors, and advanced weapons. So, Apache helicopters are very, very important. We are buying them from America. We are buying them from America. It's very important. So, they are built by US Defense from Boeing. The Apache is already serving US, UK, Israel, Egypt, and now India is going to buy Apache helicopters. They are multi-role attack helicopters. Apaches are multi-role attack helicopters. Next important news, Kerala High Court bans use of artificial intelligence tools in judicial decision making. In a landmark judgment, the Kerala High Court has come out with an artificial intelligence usage policy which specifically prohibits use of AI tools for decision making or legal reasoning by the district judiciary. The Kerala High Court have come out with a policy regarding use of AI tools in district judiciary for a responsible and restricted use of artificial intelligence. You all know artificial intelligence is pervading in every aspect of professional and personal life, but artificial intelligence should not be given the discretion to decide the legal matters. Sometimes they may go into erroneous way, they may commit some blunders which affects the human life, because every case has a face behind it. Every case has a victim behind it. So AI should not be given so much of power to decide legal issues. Coming back, recently, news, always Donald Trump, we all know that he's always in the controversy. Recently, Donald Trump have released in his social media, that is Social Truth, his account, about showing Barack Hussein Obama and other democratic leaders, Barack Hussein Obama and other democratic leaders, particularly Obama in jail and all his hands and legs tied. American President Donald Trump shared an AI-generated, artificial intelligence-generated video of former President Barack Hussein Obama being arrested by FBI agents inside the Oval Office. It's a fake video. The 45-second fake video have generated a lot of curiosity. And you know what Donald Trump said? No one is Ebola. He might be the former President of America. He might be the former lawmaker in America, but nobody is Ebola. If somebody is involved in a scam or a fraud, they have to be under the bars. If somebody is involved in a scam or any illegal thing, they should be under the bars. So social media and Donald Trump, really, Donald Trump is very famous in social media. Next important news that is coming up from China. China begins the construction of world's biggest dam over Brahmaputra River. China begins the construction of world's biggest dam over Brahmaputra River. China formally started the construction of $167.8 billion dam. China is spending $167.8 billion. $167.8 billion dam over the Brahmaputra River in Tibet, close to the Indian border in Arunachal Pradesh. Chinese Premier Li Qiang announced the start of the construction of the dam over Brahmaputra at a groundbreaking ceremony. And most importantly, China locally calls Brahmaputra as Heirloom Sangpo. Heirloom Sangpo. China calls Brahmaputra River as Heirloom Sangpo. So the hydropower project, which is regarded as the biggest infrastructure project in the world, raised concerns in the lower riparian states, particularly India and Bangladesh. If China constructs the dam, it might affect the water flow to India and Bangladesh. This is also an important thing. As you all know, sexual assaults, rape and murders with respect to women is being increased in the Indian campuses like law colleges, medical colleges. Even in Orissa also, Kalinga University, you all know that, 2 Nepali students committed suicide. And Odisha launches Shakti Sri initiative. Odisha state government launched Shakti Sri initiative for women's safety in the campuses. Days after the self-immolation death of a college student in Balasore over the sexual harassment case, Odisha CM have launched Shakti Sri, a statewide initiative to ensure the safety, security, and empowerment of women in universities and colleges. To ensure the safety, security, and empowerment of women in universities and colleges. The Orissa Chief Minister described Shakti Sri as a transformative empowerment. Orissa CM described Shakti Sri as a transformative empowerment and self-defense initiative. Very important. I hope that all the important universities throughout the country should have the similar programs so that we can protect Indian women. Coming back, INS Sandayak is in news. INS Sandayak, the first ever indigenously designed and built ship with respect to hydrographic survey ship. It's called, what is INS Sandayak? Hydrographic survey ship. Hydrographic survey ship. Now, it is visiting the port in Malaysia. India's indigenously designed and built ship, a hydrographic survey ship, INS Sandayak. Now it is visiting Malaysia. So it's very important. And particularly, INS Sandayak is a hydrographic survey ship which was commissioned in February 2024. Sandayak has a full-scale coastal and deep water survey capability. Sandak has a full-scale coastal and deep water survey capability, oceanographic data collection, and capable of search and rescue operations and humanitarian assistance with respect to oceanic disasters. All these things can be conducted by INS Sandak, very important. And one important fighter jet of Britain was stuck in Kerala, Thiruvananthapuram. F-35B, I think you all know that. Very important fighter jet, advanced fighter jet. Belonged to UK. It was stuck in Kerala, Thiruvananthapuram. It have come and gave a distress call and got the support from India, and F-35B was stuck in Kerala, Thiruvananthapuram airport. And technicians, engineers from Britain have come to work out on technical glitches, but they could not set it right. Now they are telling that F-35B is capable of flying back to Britain, is going back to Britain tomorrow. Let's see whether it can fly back or not. A state-of-art British fighter jet that has been stuck at Thiruvananthapuram for more than 5 weeks. A state-of-art British fighter jet that have been stuck at Thiruvananthapuram airport for more than 5 weeks is set to fly out. F-35B will be pulled back from the hangar. You know, we'll put cars, scooters in a garage, right? Aircrafts will be kept at a place called hangar. Okay. And now this aircraft, that's fighter jet, is going back to UK. That's the news that is coming up. Let's see whether it will go back or not, because it has certain technical glitches. It has some technical glitches. The other important news, the news is coming up from Japan. Japanese Prime Minister Shigeru Ishiba. His political party is Liberal Democratic Party. There was elections recently to the upper house of the Diet. In India, we call our central legislature as parliament. In Japan, they call it as Diet. There were elections to the upper house of Diet, and the party which has a long history, that is Liberal Democratic Party in Japan, which was formed in 1955, lost its majority in both houses of the parliament. In the recent elections in upper house, the Liberal Democratic Party, to which the Prime Minister of Japan, Shigeru Ishiba, belongs to, lost its majority. Now Japanese policies are going to be very difficult. You know, the new party, one small party which was emerged during COVID through a YouTube channel, 𝐶𝐸𝐴𝐸 Party. 𝐶𝐸𝐴𝐸 Party. It was a very small party, but it won considerable number of seats in upper house recently with a call, Japanese First. Japanese First. It followed anti-immigration campaign. It launched anti-immigrant campaign. What is it all about? America First for Donald Trump. In Germany, German First, Germany First campaign. And in Japan, Japanese First campaign. Generally, in Japan, there is no room for place for rightist ideology, but now the ideology is emerging. They are anti-immigration campaignists. That political party won good number of seats in upper house in Japan, and they don't want globalized tendencies, globalism to enter into Japan. They don't want immigrants to enter into Japan. There are just 3.8 million immigrants, that is just 38 lakh immigrants in Japan, only 3% of Japanese population, but still one party now is showing good progress. Japan is only for Japanese. As there is a slogan, America is for Americans, Germany is for Germans. Now a new party is emerging in Japan with a slogan, Japan is for Japanese. And the present government led by Liberal Democratic Party is losing the strength. It was a 70 years old party. 70 years old party. Now new party is emerging in Japan called 𝐶𝐸𝐴𝐸 Party. 𝐶𝐸𝐴𝐸. S-A-N-S-E-I-T-O. S-A-N-S-E-I-T-O. So other interesting news from Saudi Arabia. Do you know? The world is full of democratic movements and democracy. Everyone loves democracy, right? In Saudi Arabia, we have absolute monarchy. The king is powerful. Salman bin Abdulaziz. The king is very, very powerful. They follow monarchy. So from last 20 years, from 2005 to till date, till yesterday, there was a prince in Saudi Arabia, sleeping prince. Now he is 36 years old, he died. You should know him. In Saudi Arabia, royalty and royal families, they loom large. They have a lot of respect. They enjoy a lot of power. A prince from Saudi Arabia called Prince Al-Walid bin Khalid bin Talal Al Saud. He went to UK to study in military academy when he was 14 or 15 years of age. And he met with a fatal accident. In a car crash, his brain was dead. Brain hemorrhage happened. And experts, everyone said he cannot survive. He was in coma. And even medical experts advised to take away the life support system. But family thought one day he will awake. And in 2019, there's a source that said that his finger is moving, he's moving his head, all these things. And he was in a permanent vegetative state called coma. Yesterday he died. He's called Sleeping Prince. People used to believe that he might wake up one day, he might awake one day, but from a royal family. And Saudi Arabia's royal family follows absolute monarchy. King is all powerful. Legislative powers, executive powers, and judicial powers. All powers are with the king. King is like a very, very strong person there. And royal family is respectable family in Saudi Arabia. And sleeping prince. Saudi Arabia's sleeping prince dies after 20 years in coma. After 20 years in coma. That's the pathetic thing in Saudi Arabia from last 2 days is coming up. And next important news, very, very, again, I can say, shocking news from Dakshina Kannada, Karnataka, Dharmasthala issue. Dharmasthala. There's a religious town in Karnataka's district of Dakshina Kannada district. There's a religious town called Dharmasthala. One sanitation worker is revealing shocking facts. Hundreds and hundreds of burials happened from 1998 to 2014 period while he was a sanitation worker. He was forced to bury many dead bodies, particularly women who are sexually assaulted and raped. And he said, if protection is given to me under Witness Protection Act, I will reveal all the facts. There are strong political forces are involved here. So I want strong protection. He gave a statement even before the court. He also told that a 13-year-old girl was buried near a petrol station. And it seems that he also carried some photos of that. So the issue is flaring up. The state government of Karnataka has appointed a SIT, Special Investigation Team. And shockingly, 20 years back, a rape and murder happened in the same place regarding the girl's name is Saujanya, 17 years old. And after this report, one woman, 60 years old lady, went and complained to the police saying that her daughter, who was a medical student, went to trip to Dharmasthala in the year 2003. She didn't turn back to the house. She was missing from last 25 years. And the mother asked, if my daughter have been in the graves, please show my daughter's burial place. That was a request from my mother. So the state government of Karnataka yesterday appointed a special investigation team to actually find out what actually happened. Former sanitation worker, he said there are many secret burials of several dead bodies in Dharmasthala. Dharmasthala is a religious town of Lord Manjunatheshwara. And there's a unique facility, unique thing about particular Dharmasthala Manjunatheshwara temple. The trustees of the temple are Jains, whereas the temple belongs to Hindu religion. The priests and others are Hindus, but the trustees are Jains. And as per the former sanitation worker, he buried hundreds of unidentified dead bodies in Dakshina Kannada district Dharmasthala between 1998 and 2014. And most importantly, now from 2014 to till date, he was missing. He was staying in some other states, nearby states, and now he's telling that there's a threat to my life. So I have escaped from Karnataka. Now I want to have a guilty consciousness. I want to bring peace to me and the dead bodies also. So I want to reveal all the facts. If you are giving me some protection, if you promise me some protection, I'll give you the entire facts. So this is a episode that's coming up with respect to Dharmasthala. And this is Hindu paper of today. You are expected to read and study the complete paper. You are expected to read and study the complete paper. Okay, this is the Hindu paper today. Says Kailash Manav Sarovar Yatra giving a new impetus to ties, says Chinese envoy. Kailash Manas Sarovar Yatra. It's a very famous yatra. China is preparing to discuss refining border management and control rules to resolve issues around its disputed boundary with India after 4-year military standoff ended at the line of actual control. You all know that in 2020, there is a Galwan Valley clash between India and China. In 2020, there's a Galwan Valley clash. From the last four and a half years, India-China border LAC issue, with respect to particular issue, there is a lot of tension. Now we are following de-escalation and disengagement policy. So the border management policy with respect to Galwan Valley right now is de-escalation and disengagement policy. Now Chinese diplomat is telling that Kailash Manas Sarovar Yatra is giving a new push to the positive push to the India-China ties. So you all know, do you know Kailash Manas Sarovar Yatra? What is this yatra? There will be a very famous pilgrimage, Kailash Manas Sarovar Yatra, and everybody likes to go there. Now it's being opened. Coming back, today, after Pahalgam terror attack, today the Parliament have not yet met. Today is the first session of monsoon session of Parliament, that is July 21st. And opposition parties are demanding to speak on Pahalgam attack, Operation Sindoor, and whether Donald Trump really mediated between India and Pakistan, all these things. Open to debate on Operation Sindoor in Parliament, says the government. Open to debate on Operation Sindoor. And minimum support gain to move removal of Justice Verma, says Kiran Rijiju. Minimum support gain, that is 100 MPs signed to start proceedings against Justice Yashwant Verma, says Kiran Rijiju, Parliamentary Affairs Minister. You all know what has happened in that case, as I already explained. Coming back, this page is called editorial page in Hindu. This page is called editorial page. You are expected to read at least 3-4 articles from this page, which are very, very important. You are expected to read. Say, a long list. A long list, as you all know. In Pahalgam terror attack, there's an involvement of a terrorist organization called TRF, the Resistance Front. TRF, the Resistance Front. America declared the Resistance Front as a foreign terrorist organization, and the Resistance Front is an offshoot of Lashkar-e-Toiba. So the entire article is relating to that. And the next important article, India can reframe the artificial intelligence debate. India can reframe the AI debate. So with respect to ChatGPT and other generative AI concepts, India has to take a lead. At the same time, ethical use of AI is also very important. And you have many very important news. Lead article. You all know Boeing 787 Dreamliner crash. And safety of airlines is very, very important, aircraft safety. Reforms cannot wait, because we cannot wait for the reforms as the safety of the human lives are at stake. So the Aircraft Accident Investigation Bureau's preliminary report on Air India's Boeing 787 air crash in Ahmedabad on June 12, 2025 was released recently. The report remains inconclusive, with critical uncertainties on whether pilot action was inadvertent or deliberate. So, there was a stoppage of fuel supply to the engine. The fuel switch was off. And the question is, even if the pilot switch on it, the engine could not take that fuel supply and the flight was crashed. This is a preliminary report. And still the investigation is going on, but reforms cannot wait because it depends. Actually, everything is on people's safety. It's very important. So, very bad news coming up from Odisha. Girl set ablaze by miscreants in Odisha flown to Delhi AIIMS. A 15-year-old girl who sustained over 75% burns after being set ablaze by unidentified miscreants in Puri, in Odisha, she was taken to AIIMS. The decision to shift her to the AIIMS was taken by the government, and government officials and CM, former CM, they're all praying for recovery. And government is steadfast in identifying the miscreants now. See, in Odisha, a girl was set fire by miscreants. Who is a miscreant? Some antisocial elements. And that girl was flown to Delhi AIIMS for treatment. That's 75% with 75% burns. So, cattle traders in Maharashtra to launch boycott amidst harassment. This article. Cattle traders in Maharashtra now to launch boycott amid harassment. Just go through that. Annual share of abstentions in India's votes at the UN reaches an all-time high. You all know United Nations Organization. India's abstention from voting is all-time high this year. So, on many issues with respect to various international controversial things, India abstained from voting. India have not voted. So, it is an all-time high this year. Annual share of abstentions in India's votes at the United Nations reached an all-time high. So, an increasingly polarized world has led India altering its voting strategy at the United Nations in such a way that the proportion of abstentions every year has increased. While the yes votes have reduced, abstentions have increased. India have reduced, voting of yes and abstentions have increased. So read the entire article. Read the entire article. Okay? This is how you are expected to read current affairs every day. So we'll stop it here, current affairs. So I wish to tell you, ఏదైతే కరెంట్ అఫైర్స్ చెప్పానో మీకు ఎప్పుడు నోట్స్ మొత్తం షేర్ అవుతుంది. నాకు తెలుసు అంతా రాసుకోలేకపోయారని చూశాను. ఈ నోట్స్ మొత్తం మీకు ఇప్పుడు వస్తుంది. కార్తీక్ ఎంటైర్ నోట్స్ అందరికీ షేర్ చేసేసాయి. హిందూ పేపర్ ఆల్రెడీ మీకు వస్తుంది కాబట్టి పేపర్లో ఉన్నది కాదు, నోట్స్ షేర్.